You're watching New Car Spin. We are in Colorado today. Although it looks a lot like, I don't know, that scene in Scotland where they filmed Skyfall. A little bit. It's kind of cool right here. So I know it's windy. I got the camera going here. We're driving a Genesis G70 today. This is the 3.3 liter turbo V6 with all-wheel drive. You'll notice that with the dual tailpipes, although they're quad. There's two pipes on either side. It is a kind of a chalky white color. The wheels are definitely not this color. They're so dirty. Look at this. Yeah. So you can pretty much tell I've been using it this week. And I want to thank Genesis for letting me borrow this car. I'm actually on a trip with this group called Replenish. And Replenish is something I'll tell you about at the end of this video. So with this road like this and a car like this, let's get driving. I do want to say I want to review, but I don't want to review this car. It's not the G80, so it's smaller than that. The G80 I thought was a very good competitor to a Mercedes, whereas this is a kind of a it doesn't really compete with an Audi S4. It's trying to be something like that. It's very much like the Kia Stinger, and I know there's a lot of good press about this car, but me personally, I'd pass on it. And if you've never driven a G70 before, I'll show you why. But I won't do much talking. I'll let the road do the talking. So let me get my seatbelt on here. We have auto hold, parking camera. Although the parking camera is only for rear, it doesn't show 360 and it doesn't show front. And then electronic parking brake. And then we have drive modes. So we'll go into sport drive mode. The seat tightens up a little bit in the bolsters, and the steering obviously gets stiffer. The suspension stiffens up. And this car does use all of its suspension. It's kind of weird. There's a lot of suspension travel. There's a lot of kind of sway, I would call it, and a lot of squat and dive. So basically what I'll do is I'll hit the road and explain a few things along the way. Number one, this is a 12-second car, so it'll hit a quarter mile in about 12.6 seconds. It's not 400 horsepower like the Infiniti Q50 Red Sport 400. I think that is a benchmark car, and this is trying to be like that, but it doesn't work as well. That Infiniti is just the benchmark in my mind. So that's even if you're looking at an Audi S4 or Mercedes C-Class or whatever, that Infiniti Q50 Red Sport 400 is the most powerful, the best weight to power ratio, and the best price. So why am I in the G70? Because they gave it to me, and I'm at 10,000 feet. So performance-wise, it does very well. It's obviously, I had two choices. This or a Mazda CX-9, so I chose this. But it's actually been disappointing. It moves, yes, but the suspension travel and everything about it, even the cabin size, is really, really tight in here. I can't get two adults in the back seat, mainly because they cannot get in or out of that back door. It's a tight squeeze for adults. So it's really not as much of a car as I thought it was going to be based on all the other reviews out there. And obviously, I give you the real story. I don't edit. I don't sugarcoat anything. I am an automotive journalist, and I want to give you my full experience here so that you can make informed decisions. I'm not making decisions for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit drive, sport mode. Road looks pretty clear. I'm going to keep the windows up so you can hear everything, and I'll be quiet. starting to rain, so let's go ahead and put it in Sport Plus mode, which also turns off traction control. I'll take a photo there, that's pretty cool. I'll come back and take a shot there. Something you can do in this car is turn off the piped in noise, and I'm gonna do that when we get to a place to stop. But let's continue to have some fun and enjoy the scenery. Place reminds me of Bodie, California. Steering feels good. The one thing I have a complaint about are the brakes. They're not as strong as they should be for a car that moves this quickly. I want brakes with big bite. I want meaty, beefy brakes, and this car does not have that. It's got soft, squishy, spongy, mediocre brakes. And so if you're going through cornering like this, you want extra reassurance, so you don't end up in that. Okay. Wow. This is a strange place. Also, the exhaust, I mean, it sounds okay. I don't know what it sounds like on the outside, but from the inside, it's not crackling, it's not popping, it's not like outrageous. I don't know what you can do to the exhaust at this point. I would prefer a factory exhaust kit that would do everything I want it to do. This one, it's missing a little bit of that kind of showmanship, you know, a little bit of a snap or a crackle or a pop. All right, we're gonna pull over here. This looks like a safe spot. Wow. All right, so what I want to show you is setup, and then we go to vehicle, and then as you can see, it's a little delayed there. Okay, we're gonna turn it off. So that's the piped in noise, and you hear the difference. So put the map back on. Just go out here and take a wow. Wow. I like taking a shot of the rear end of this car. It seems a lot easier to do than taking a shot of the front end. Front end just, I don't know, it's kind of bland. Yeah, you can definitely smell I've been working this car pretty hard. Oh yeah. It's not a Bentley. People out here think it's a Bentley because they see the logo and whatever. It's deceptive, I know. Okay, we do have heated seats, vented seats, heated steering wheel. This reminds me of the Audi R8 second gen, the way they did this with the 8-track controls, although the Audi would have a third one here. Wireless charging, okay stereo. As you can see, it's a Lexicon. You know, not my favorite, but We're gonna go ahead and hit drive. We're still in Sport Plus mode. Clear. Let's go back to that other place and take some shots. Now you might think, oh, it's pretty slow, but we are in Roman mica territory, just by the elevation, not by where we're at. But basically, Roman mica from the fast lane car, they do all their reviews in Colorado at like 5,000 to 10,000 feet. And the one thing they always talk about is elevation change. Changes the way the car accelerates because of the air density and temperature. So just keep that in mind here. I'm gonna be quiet. We're gonna keep driving. I mean, there's no doubt that I'm having fun here, but I just think that if you push this car super hard, you're still missing, something's missing. I can't quite explain it or go into depth, but if you haven't driven one of these and you think I'm wrong, get in the seat and drive one. And if you've ever experienced an M4 or even an AMG C-Class, or an Infiniti Q50 Red Sport 400, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's just some excitement that's missing out of this car. And that's the problem. You keep pushing it harder and harder, and then you realize it really can't go that much harder. You can really only go 6/10 out of this thing. And I know I sound counterintuitive to everyone else that you've probably tuned into to get more info on this car, but that's where I am. I don't think there's a way I can get a shot in front of this old building unless I go right here. Yeah, let's go right here. We got all-wheel drive. We'll make it. Cool. Park and brake, park. I'll just keep it running for a little bit. Look at that building. Oh. Crazy. You can hear it ticking cool. So no doubt I've been driving it hard. There we go. Kabam. Trying to get the right angle. There never seems to be a right angle with this. Or a wrong angle. Anyway, it's not a terrible car. I mean, if you these days can't find the car that you really, really want, this isn't really a trade-off. Man. And it sure beats a used car. That building's old. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm heading back to my destination, or my origination, but I will take you along for the ride. All right, here we are back to where we started. I'm not that affected by the 10,000 feet elevation. I actually feel pretty good, but this car is performing very well as well. But I want to talk about Replenish. That is an organization that supports pastors and people who are pretty much at their, let's just say, they're at a point in their career that's really challenging. And what Replenish does is it takes them out to ranches and retreats and rekindles the fire within them, and I help support that. And I never really cyberbeg even for my own channel, but if you are wanting to figure out more about what I do and the other things that I do to support myself beyond just automotive journalism, there will be a link in the description of this video. And if you feel like you want to support that, it's obviously a nonprofit. Click that link, explore the options, or even leave me a note in the comments below, because I do read all my comments and I appreciate it. From there, yeah, more destinations. And it just happened to be that Genesis was able to give me a car while I was traveling, which is great. As being an automotive journalist, it's one of the perks. You get to travel and you don't really have to worry about rental cars. You just have to owe them a story. So here's your story, Genesis. Decent car. I just want more. I want more. I want better brakes. I want better exhaust sound. And the suspension is a little too soft. Beyond that, I would still say the Infiniti Q50 Red Sport 400, even though it's old and long in the tooth, it is still my prime pick for like a real technical sporty sedan. And if you don't have too many friends, you don't have to worry about this back seat. So keep that in mind. And I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.